This is the Prettycare R1 MAX, and it is the most advanced, best cleaning robot vacuum I have ever tested, and by the end of this video, you're gonna know every single thing there is to know about this, plus my personal opinion at the end. Okay, first let's really quick run over the specs of this vacuum so you can kind of compare it to other vacuums and get an idea of where this sits. So this is a 6,000 PA of vacuum suction power. It has a 10N downward pressure on the mop. It has the ability to connect to your phone Bluetooth completely wirelessly and control all the operations wirelessly. It also has LiDAR, which we'll get into a little bit later, but it's really cool. And finally, we have the ability to set up virtual walls and places where we don't want the vacuum to go. Okay, so those are some pretty impressive specs, but how does this thing actually work? Well, there are two main components to this whole system. So when you're unboxing this, you will first get to this thing's base. Now this base will take care of its charging, its cleaning, its drying, all of that, and all you have to do is basically take out that dirty water and put in the clean water, and the station will take care of the rest, which is super cool. Now the second component is obviously the robot itself. Now this has that super powerful vacuum that we were talking about earlier, but what's cool about the mop of this is that let's say you go up onto carpet, the mop will automatically go up inside the robot, so you're not mopping your rugs, and then when it goes onto the concrete, it'll detect that and it'll push down and give you that nice 10N pressure, whatever that means. And if you are wondering what this little silver thing is up here, that is its LiDAR sensor. So the main way that this robot works is with this system up here. Basically, there's a little LiDAR that spins around super fast and it maps out where it's going and what objects are around it. It also has these cameras up here at the front, but this little circle thing right here is the main magic of this whole robot, and it is super cool. Now the other components to this robot is this thing here. Basically, if it bumps into something, this will kind of detect it because the LiDAR sensors can't see it or the camera can't see it. This is your extra protection there, so that is pretty cool. You also have this door that opens up so you can remove this tank of water right here, which is what it stores. Actually, this is a dustbin. Thanks, robot. So that's the dust box to basically keep all the dirt from the vacuum. I knew that, I was just wanting the robot to tell you. Okay, actually I didn't. And then over here is where yeah, the water tank where it has all the water for the mop. And then you have your two contact pins back here for charging the robot. Okay, but what is my personal opinion on this robot? And in my personal experience, when I set this thing up, the only issue I ran into is I did not read the instructions because that's not something that I do, but I should have, and I needed to charge up the robot fully before sending it out to do its vacuum round or whatever, because it maps out. Anyways, I messed up. The key is just make sure you have this thing fully charged before you send it out for its first vacuuming session or whatever you want to call it. But besides that, it has been smooth sailing, and I have been so impressed by just how well this thing does with its mapping. The second I turned it on, it immediately had already mapped out half the room, and it just goes around. It's very precise. It knows the areas you do not want to vacuum, you select it, and it is very, very precise with that. Plus, it can adjust to things in real time. Like if you throw something in front of it, a dog toy, it'll automatically go around it. It's so cool that it can do that, and this is AI powered. So this thing has a bunch of AI stuff or whatever you want to call it in here, and it works really well. So in my personal opinion, yes, this is a great product. I absolutely love it. And before we get to the price, remember this thing is the top of the line. It has a vacuum, it has a mop, it's all super high suction powered, it cleans really well, it has these amazing LiDAR sensors. There's just so much tech just jammed into this thing, but it does come in at $1,300. And it is worth it in my opinion if you're looking for the top of the line, but besides that, you might want to look for a little bit of a cheaper model.